Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BT Talks. Today we have a very special guest, none other than Alicia Cervera de Madrid. She is the godmother of real estate in Miami and South Florida. She's seen it all. She's seen the evolution of this city, which is, evolving every year. It's a fantastic city, and today we're going to talk about Miami real estate, obviously its growth, the movement from the Northeast and other parts of the country that are coming to Miami and the reasons they're coming to Miami, why Miami is such a great city, and a lot of fun things. So please bear with me. Alicia will be joining the live in a minute or so. And thanks to everyone who is joining you live. Sam is back. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. There we go. Alicia is going to join the live. And I see a few other people from Miami and around the world joining. Venzi is back. By the way, fantastic company. They do great kitchen cabinets, bathroom cabinets, custom furniture, so please make sure to connect with Avenzi. Alicia, I think she's trying to join. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can add. Give me 1 second, guys. So Alicia, I just sent you a request. So you should.
There we go.
There we go. That's
Okay.
that's technology.
Clearly not a millennial. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, we all have to, use technology as we can. It's a fantastic tool, but there's also sometimes some icks, even for millennials. So for everybody. So I have a lot of great friends who have joined the live. Alicia, thank you so much for being a guest on my show. Really appreciate it. And I know a lot of people know who you are, but for those who don't, if you can do a little introduction and kind of your journey to Miami and as well, in real estate.
Absolutely. So, hi, and thank you for having me. It's quite an honor to be here with your audience.
Thank
So,
you.
my journey in real estate, I think, started just about at birth, but let's put it at our arrival in the United States in 1961. My parents arrived here after the Cuban Revolution, and mom kind of figured out after a few mishaps that she was a born salesperson and went into sales, got her license, and started her career in real estate. And I was trudging behind her, fully understanding that a picnic was pacing a lot until many years later when I realized it was actually two different things. So anyway, I've been licensed now for a terrifying 41 years.
Wow.
And yeah, it's a lifetime and a half, and working at this. And of course, we are prominently known for selling condominiums because we were the original company that started representing developers in condominium ground-up construction sales. So the company started doing that in the 70s when condominiums started becoming a thing in Miami and Brickell Avenue. We sold more than anyone on Brickell, and then in downtown and famously south of Fifth. Every condo facing the bay south of Fifth was sold by us.
I think you guys represented more than 100 projects in Miami.
We've represented
like
100 projects and over 60,000 condos in sales. I think we're up to about 115 projects.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's been a great journey, and we've worked with a lot of terrific people, both on the development side, most of them, as I like to call them, the big boys. And then on the sales side, we've had the privilege of working with so many wonderful agents and spectacular clients, and really welcoming so many people who have come to Miami under all kinds of circumstances to call Miami home. So it's a beautiful career and a beautiful city.
To talk about Miami, because it's such a, I mean, today Miami is, watched by the world, if I can say. It's such an attractive city. Myself, I actually moved to Miami a little more than a year ago. I knew the city very well. I was coming a lot, and I actually moved from New York. And it's just, there's something in this city that's very special. How can you define the energy of Miami? Because it's not just, obviously we're in real estate, and real estate is sexy, it's appealing, it's but there's so much more to the city. And I see also a lot of actually people from all backgrounds coming to Miami, whether they're moving their company, their family, or just relocating. What is so appealing about this city?
Well, I mean, the obvious thing is that here we are in December. I'm sitting in my backyard. I've got a t-shirt on, and the climate is absolutely playbook perfect. And
Yeah.
we're surrounded by two national parks with Biscayne Bay and the Everglades. Our quality of air and water is second to none, as is our quality of light. That was explained to me by photographers along the way. They said, you guys just have the best light in this town.
It's interesting I cut you for a second. It's interesting you say that because many of my friends that are broker in other countries around the world, sometimes they look at my Instagram feed and they're like, Ben, how are these photos, like the colors, do you do anything? Like, and it's just photos from the views or the buildings, and the light is true in Miami is phenomenal. That's why a lot of photographers come here.
Right. A lot of photographers come here for that reason. And, but you know, a lot of places can perhaps make that claim. No one can make the claim that we can as a city that organically is what every city in the world is trying to be. We are a city that welcomes people from all over the world. Doesn't matter where you're from, what religion you practice, what color you are, what language you speak. None of that matters in Miami. How well you drive or how bad you drive matters sometimes. but we live with all of it.
That's another question, but yeah.
That's another question. We really expect when people come to Miami is that they come to add. And as long as you add, whether it's a smile or, you know, you bring Amazon or you bring a finance company from New York or you bring a new tech company from South America, or you just come with a desire to work, as long as you come to Miami with a desire to add, you're welcomed in this town. And you're truly, truly welcomed in this town. We don't think about anything else. You know, oftentimes people say, you know, where's so-and-so from, or what religion, or what, and I go, I have no idea, you know.
Yeah.
Who knows? And if you have a dinner party and only one language is spoken, you know you have failed dramatically, because that's what our town's about. And everybody remembers arriving and that feeling of arriving in a new place. So I think we're very welcoming.
Yeah, I can say that from my experience. You know, I came to Miami, like I said, I moved here with my wife about a year ago, and never have I felt more welcome. I've met incredible people, not only in real estate. It's just, obviously it's not such a big town, so everybody knows everybody, but there's so much, you know, people welcoming you. And also, you're right to say that whatever industry you're in, if you work hard and you're passionate, like, you can make it, and you have opportunities, and there's, you know, there's a lot of great things to do in the city.
You know, it's a city that's growing so quickly that I think part of the welcoming people is because we're desperate for people to come and bring their talent and bring their intellectual capital, their capital, their financial capital.
I see people coming from the Silicon Valley.
Right, absolutely, and there's going to be more of them coming because, honestly, they try to teach people to be what we are. You know, they try to teach people to be inclusive, to be open, to be entrepreneurial, to be, you know, happiness. Really, it's just who we are organically. And we don't just have grown up that way. And it's a great tribute to the wonderful country that we live in that gives us magnificent opportunities.
I 100% agree. I am actually, I mean, an immigrant from France. I came to the U.S. More than 20 years ago. And it's true, it's a wonderful country. You know, there's no perfect place, but the United States is what it is.
Well,
and
now
I think Miami is actually...
I'm from France and not from New York.
France and New York.
Yeah, our newest feeder market. At some point, one of our mayors was talking, and he said, you know, I really want to thank Del Castro, Hugo Chavez, and now de Blasio for helping Miami become the city it is.
So
because,
true.
you know, good government is important. And these bad governments result in flight that has helped us create the city we are, because it's people who are looking for opportunities, better way of life, that, you know, move, whether it's from a state or from a different country, they move to find that opportunity.
And I think I always say, you know, obviously there's the tax reason. So people from, you know, New York, California, Chicago, everybody's coming for that. But I always say the lifestyle is the number one reason, because I think here there is the simple things make you happy. So, you know, for the quality of life is just unbeatable. So little things like having a morning or evening walk, or doing an outdoor workout, or just being by the ocean, or just sitting down in an outdoor cafe. These little things, I think I tell people, like, there's a lot of people who don't make that much money, live in Miami, but are much happier than someone who's making a lot of money in a big city.
Absolutely. You also get a lot more for your So with a
That,
lot,
yeah,
you can live a lot better. And we have a school system that has become very good. The public
yeah,
school system is very good. And the private school system actually boasts the #1 prep school in the whole country, and in Ransom Everglades. And it's a little well-known fact, but it's very important.
yeah.
And of course, our arts and our culinary things have, for a long time, people came to Miami and maybe they things, but they didn't think that it was enough of a city to actually move and live and raise their children here.
Yeah.
But city, and of course, we've had major cast Basel that came and propelled the art scene forward. But we take these opportunities, we make them our own, and then we multiply them. Because around the Art Basel Fair, look at all the fairs that have
I mean,
exploded.
you look at the evolution of the neighborhoods, you know, whether it's downtown Miami, Brickell, Wynwood, the design district, which a few years ago there was, you know, nothing. And now it's like an attraction. Everybody's going there. There's so much to do, not just restaurants, just events. I mean, now we're kind of in a, I don't know if it's post-pandemic, but, you know, we're in a time which is a little different, but there's just so many things to do.
There are so many things to do, and every day more, and creative things and creative opportunities. And yes, this is a funky year, but where better to pass a pandemic than in Miami?
Yeah.
Considering the options are that we've been very insulated. We also have a fantastic medical center here that's very cutting edge and very resilient, because our medical center isn't created to serve the community. Our medical center is created to serve Latin America and a lot of the Caribbean. So that's why Miami, we never had that lack of capacity, even though we prepared for it, because we had 2 tent hospitals that were built. We never used them because of our overcapacity, both Jackson and the back. We have very, very robust medical centers and hospitals here, and excellent quality of care. So we're very blessed in that way too.
That is for sure. So tell us also about the evolution of downtown and Brickell, because you and your team, you know, sold a lot of buildings here, but you also saw, you know, when, again, Brickell 10 years ago, there was not much. And now downtown is actually growing.
Brickell 30 years ago, you could take a nap in the middle of the street, you know? So never mind looking both ways to cross, you know? It's really funny, because I'm one of those few people that get on the street and I see all this traffic and I'm just so excited. You know,
I live in Brickell. You know, I decided to make the move to Brickell for its convenience, and, you know, there's just a lot to it. So, you know, I love it.
It's, you know, it's just a magnificent, magnificent pedestrian neighborhood. You've got beautiful parks. It's on the bay. You have a fantastic shopping component with the opening of Brickell City Center. You have the best city are really all within walk from Brickell. You've got access to the marinas, which means you can be in the Bahamas on a go fast. In 45 minutes, you jump on your boat, you're in the Bahamas. And a lot of people say, oh, but Brickell doesn't have the beach. I said, look, guys, when you live in Miami, you don't go to the beach. You jump on a boat, go.
But you're close to the water. I go running, you know, in Brickell Key or in Key Biscayne.
Absolutely. And by the way, I grew up swimming in the bay. It's just that at some point, somebody decided to build a wall between the bay and the building, and people stopped going in. But when I was a kid, we'd drive into Key Biscayne. We'd go swimming in the bay, which is now where a lot of people go catamaranging and doing all that stuff right off of the bay, Hobie Beach.
Yeah, for sure.
It's cool.
Yeah. So tell us also a bit about downtown. I know you have at least 2 big projects there. There's Aston Martin Residences, which yes, I did a BT Talks with Anthony, who's a great guy. Yeah. And then there's Nativo, which is also a very cool project. And I actually did a BT Talks with Danette, who's also a great guy.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about downtown and these projects.
Have a terrific bookends in downtown Miami, right? Because on the one hand, I have Aston Martin, which is probably the premier building in town. It's going to raise 800 feet tall with a crown jewel of a $50 million penthouse on top. We are 67% sold and 50% built in terms of the height of the building. The building will be completed at the end of 2022. And then on the other hand, I have Nativo, which is what I call a vertical city, because it's a project that's so complete. We have wonderful restaurants in the base. Then we have a hotel. We have a hotel which is being announced, by the way, next Wednesday. So hopefully you'll meet then and cover that announcement. It's very exciting. And then we have a hotel condo component. And then we have the Nativo Residences. And then we have the penthouses, which just got released, as you know, the RH, which were
Yeah, I just saw that
designed by
recently.
Restoration Hardware. So it's really a very, very complete project, which is complemented by a social club that's being done by LDV Entertainment and Hospitality. So it's going to be completely curated with, you know, wonderful pool service and a speakeasy and a beautiful theater, and it's really like a mini city. And it's
Yep.
one of the first buildings that's going to be completed that's absolutely been designed to deal with the virus crisis. You know, so we hope that by the time the building is finished in 2 give or take years, the virus will be well behind us. But that having been said, it's going to have all the new filtration systems and all of the new lighting and all of the new stuff and the contact free, et cetera, which should also help us avoid the flu. So it's a very exciting thing. A lot of open air spaces and indoor outdoor components with the, you know, the doors that slide into each other and disappear. So if it's bad weather, you close them up and you're inside. But if it's a beautiful day like today, you open everything up and it's just fabulous indoor outdoor spaces.
Of course. So then there's another question, which is also very interesting. The market's been quite hot over the past few months, and there's single family homes, obviously, which been on fire for many reasons, but the condo market is not that bad. You know, what have you been seeing in both ends, and what are, you know, the main differences for single family homes or condos? I mean, I see a lot of people now, because there's inventory in condos.
So I think what we're seeing now is that in the housing market, it's definitely a seller's market and has been, I think, for at least 45 years.
Yeah.
The condo market is still at that tipping point. So if you're thinking about a condo, don't walk, run, and put in your offer, because I think it's going to be a tipping point within probably the next 60 days, and it may very well turn into a seller's market as well. Because the avalanche of people that are coming to Miami, a lot of people that were thinking about Miami with this pandemic have just accelerated their move. Not because of the pandemic and the fear of the virus and blah, 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 but because their life is on hold anyway. So if they were going to take their kids out of school, they're out of school. If they were going to, you know, work remotely, they're working remotely. If they were going to change jobs, now's the time to change. It's just a natural time to make that move. So the move from abroad, wherever it is abroad, New York, Mexico, Chile, the Chileans are coming in mass, Chicago, LA, etc. And people want to live where people want to live. And a lot of people like to live in the urban core. They like what you love about Brickell, going out, the bars, the thing. And by the way, I live in a house, but I live in Brickell because I work in Brickell. I have 4 offices between Brickell and downtown. And I don't come home until after I have my little cocktail and I check out the thing, or my husband be there. And I really take advantage of that beautiful city that we've worked so hard to build.
Of course, and that's something I always, you know, tell, you know, clients, and I show them around when they come. They're new to Miami, the different neighborhoods, and you know, you have to get a feel for it. And sometimes they start by renting, then they buy, but you have to fall in love with the neighborhood. And it's true. Like, I have a lot of people coming from New York, and they look at Brickell because it's, you know, it's a urban core, as you say, but it's at the same time, it's not far from, again, Key Biscayne, Coral Gables, Miami Beach. You know, it's 15 minutes from everything by car.
It's a fantastic location. And it's also got great public transportation, which people forget about when they're going to the University of Miami. You can jump on the public transportation, drops you at the front door. It also takes you, want to go shopping in Dadeland. It takes you all over the place, really. And a lot of it is free to move around downtown. You don't even need a car. So that, you know, obviously increases what you can spend on your apartment and on your lifestyle.
Of course, there's also the Bright Line, which I think is adding some stations up north in Aventura.
Fantastic. For years, I had projects in Palm Beach, and the most frustrating thing is that I never knew what time I was going to get in. It didn't matter what I put. It didn't, because it all was at the mercy of the traffic. God forbid it was an accident. And now with the Bright Line, I went up today for fun. I called a bunch of friends and I said, hey guys, we're going to jump on the Bright Line. And they looked at me, what are you, out of your mind? I said, yep, let's go. And so, you know, we all jumped on the Bright Line and we had drinks on the way up. We laughed like crazy. We got there. Then we got on one of those little buggy cars. You know what I'm talking about, the ones that are the freebies. We got on a freebie.
Yeah, freebies. They're fun. I actually took them. Yeah.
It was so much fun. And we were going to have lunch at a friend of ours that's this multi-billionaire. And so we drive up to this magnificent waterfront house in Palm Beach in the freebie. And it was
that is so fun. Yeah.
It was super fun. It was much more fun than taking a car. and much faster.
It's all about the experience.
It's all about the experience. And the dinner party was starting at around 7, so we didn't have to fight traffic. It was just great. It also allows you to work in whatever county you want and have a carefree commute with wonderful internet and ease of service. So if you want to live in Broward and work in Dade, you can do that now. And that also has been a great thing for Miami because it's expanded our employment pool. And in terms of tourism and opportunity, when we connect to Orlando, the amount of tourists that go to Orlando that are going to come down and spend a couple days in Miami, which for a project like Nativo, for instance, is such a home run because we are, right on the way to the port. The Bright Line is right by the project, and that building was designed for Airbnb type stays.
Exactly.
So for short stays. So somebody can have a place there, use it when they're there, rent it when they're not. And you can imagine the mammoth number of tourists that are going to be coming down. And hey, we're in Orlando. Let's jump on the Bright Line and check out Miami.
So last question. So what are your thoughts on the future of real estate? Obviously, I think we're in a great spot right now because home has become really important, but we also have to adapt to technology. And at the same time, we're in the people business. So, people like you and me, we love people. I think always we're passionate about real estate, but I think we have to love people before real estate because we have to manage kind of like, their expectations and it's psychology a little bit.
Right.
But at the same time, we have to, adapt with technology. There's so much going on. Sometimes it's overwhelming. How do you see the real estate industry over the next few years? And the role of the agent? Because I always say the role of the agent will always be essential, no matter how much there's technology and innovation, because there needs this human contact.
So look, for many years already, I've been saying when I started in this business, and up until maybe 10 years ago, the hard thing was getting the data. Data was really now the hard deciphering the data and deciding what data to look at because there's so much data that it's overwhelming, and anything that's overwhelming becomes useless. So I think that the goal of the realtor is really not to dig up data because clients are on Zillow and on this and on that all day long, but rather to make sense out of that data. So if you have someone that's coming here, as it happens often, and I want to move to the beach, I want to move to the beach, and that person has 3 kids, and those 3 kids need to go to school, and those people want particular schools, and there is no school that suits their needs in that neighborhood. You as a real estate expert have to explain to them, listen, throw away your computer for 5 minutes and let's talk lifestyle. And what do you want your kids to do? Do you want your 16-year-old out in every bar south of 5th Street? Or do you want your 16-year-old in Brickell close to the library and close to the universities and close to the business centers and close to the places where they can get an internship? And that kind of sense of logic that we can interject into what it means to actually move in a city is very, very important. So I think that that's where our contribution is so important, is to take the data and make sense out of it. Not just the numbers, but the quality of life and the services and the other things that really define your life.
I couldn't agree more. Well, Alicia, thank you so much for being a wonderful guest of my show, and thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure it was a lot of value to my audience. So thank you, Alicia. Have a great day.
Thank you.
I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. Bye-bye.